people work, live, and whereas community planning provides an opportunity for all residents to be meaningfully involved in making choices that determine the future of their community, and whereas the full benefits of planning require public officials and residents who understand, support, and demand excellence in planning and plan implementation, and whereas the month of October is designated as National Community Planning Month throughout the United States of America and its territories, and whereas the American Planning Association endorses National Community Planning Month as an opportunity to highlight how planning is essential to strong cities and how planners can lead communities to equitable, resilient, and sustainable outcomes, and whereas the celebration of National Community Planning Month gives us the opportunity to publicly recognize the participation and dedication of the members of planning commissions and the other resident planners who have contributed time and expertise to the improvement of the city of Des Moines. And whereas we recognize the many valuable contributions made by the professional community, and more specifically by the planners of the city of Des Moines, and extend our heartfelt thanks for the continued commitment to public service by these professionals. Now, therefore, I, Connie Bozen, on behalf of the City Council and the citizens of Des Moines, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2024 as Community Planning Month. And I encourage all residents to learn more and engage with the planning process in the city of Des Moines. So thank you for all being here. And thank you for what you guys have done for Des Moines. I know it's not easy always, but it's a great opportunity to make a change. And one thing about an older city, you get to see the dynamics of how you redo a city and make it useful for today. So thank you all. And we'll get a quick picture because that's what they have us do. We have that. You're up. Okay. Joe, if you can help her up.
That's how my mom, she gets me moving. She's like, come on, let's go. Let's go.
Would you like to? You're just going to stand here. Okay, thank you. Okay, whereas in 1492, Christopher Columbus, a man of Italian heritage, made his first voyage to America, and whereas the first Columbus Day celebration was held in 1792 in New York City, the 300th anniversary of the Italian man's landing in America, and whereas President Franklin D. Roosevelt proclaimed Columbus Day as a national holiday, and to date, it is the only day on which all Pan American join in celebration. And whereas Columbus Day is a federal holiday throughout the United States, and this year will be observed on October 14, 2024, with a celebration at the Italian American Heritage Center. Italian American Heritage Month will be celebrated throughout the city during October. Now, therefore, I, Connie Bozen, on behalf of the City Council and the citizens of Des Moines, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2024 as the Italian Heritage Month, in honor of all Italian Americans in the city of Des Moines and across the country. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Here you go. Here you go. Yes, you can have my ways.
You gotta hold it out like that.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Here.
Thank you. Okay, let me see all my motions, all the boards.
I will tell them to say,
Oh, the memory.
okay, I will let them know. You take this and put it
I'll put it in there.
Okay.
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 Come on, I got you, Dad.
Not me.
No, you can't have it.
Let's get you back
You
here.
just come and sit.
Yeah.
This is the, this is Fire Prevention Week, so whoever is here to receive, I see a few firemen here. Okay, if you want to go ahead. All right. Go ahead before I do.
Thank you, Mayor. My name's John Skip. I'm the fire chief here in Des Moines. I have Chris Clement, captain of the Fire Prevention Bureau, and Amon Douglas, firefighter in the Fire Prevention Bureau. Got really four quick things. Make smoke alarms work for you. Get them in those bedrooms and every level of your floor. Go to the Des Moines Public Library's website to get story times, which actually starts tonight at the Southside Library at 6:30. And I want to say thank you to the mayor and the council and the Des Moines Public Library for really helping us get the word out about Fire Prevention Week. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'll read the proclamation now.
All right.
Kind of says what you said.
Yep.
Whereas the city of Des Moines is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting our city, and whereas home fires killed more than 2,700 people in the United States in 2022, according to the National Fire Protection Association, and fire departments in the United States responded to 360,000 home fires, and whereas working smoke alarms cut the risk of dying in reported home fires almost in half, and whereas Des Moines residents should install smoke alarms in every sleeping room, outside each separate sleeping area, on every level of the home, and whereas the residents who have planned and practiced a home fire escape plan are more prepared and will therefore be more likely to survive a fire. And whereas the women and men of the Des Moines Fire Department are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of fires and fire injuries through prevention and education, and whereas the 2024 Fire Prevention Week theme, Smoke Alarms Make Them Work for You, serves to remind us the importance of having working smoke alarms in the home. Now, therefore, I, Connie Bozen, on behalf of the City Council and the citizens of Des Moines, do hereby proclaim the week of October 6th through the 12th, 2024, as Fire Prevention Week. And I urge all the people of Des Moines to make sure their homes have working smoke alarms and to support the many public safety activities and efforts of the Des Moines Fire Department during the Fire Prevention Week in 2024. So thank you. And again, just a reminder, everybody take this time to check your fire alarms tonight. So thank you, and thank you for the department for what they do for us each and every day. Getting closer here. Okay, National Coming Out Day. If you want to introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Hector. I'm a member of the LGBTQ Advisory Council. This Thursday, October 10th, we will have our National Coming Out Day event. This year it'll be at the patio of the Drake Diner. So it's this Thursday at 5:30. There's going to be speakers, socializing, music. It'll be fun. Please come, bring your friends. It's free. So this Thursday at 5:30, Drake Diner.
Okay, think anyone else would like? Okay, you're going to be bashful. Okay. Okay, whereas National Coming Out Day began in 1988, is an annual internationally observed celebration of those lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, LGBTQ people who have had the courage to be proud of who they are and to fight for equal rights. And whereas Des Moines is committed to being inclusive and championing and enjoying the vibrancy of its diversity and inclusion. And whereas equality for all residents of the city of Des Moines, including those who are LGBTQ+, is intrinsic to the values we most cherish. And whereas the city of Des Moines encourages all residents to be their full selves and embrace all that they are. And whereas the city of Des Moines joins the international community in celebrating National Coming Out Day. Now, therefore, I, Connie Bozen, on behalf of the City Council and the citizens of Des Moines, do hereby proclaim the day of October 11th, 2024 as National Coming Out Day. And I encourage all residents to celebrate our diverse heritage and culture and continue our efforts to create a world that is more just, compassionate, and equitable for all. So thank you for being here today. And everybody join them on Friday. Thursday. Wrong day. October 10th. Okay. We will get started at 4:55.
Connie, make sure that my wife is here. I would like to call the Municipal Housing Agency Governing Board meeting to order. Please take the roll.
Boson,
Here.
Westergaard. Coleman. Gatto.
Here.
We have a quorum.
The first item is item 2. I think the others people might be joining us shortly, but we'll go ahead. Approving the agenda as presented and/or as amended.
Move.
Is there a second? Second. It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
Coleman. 4 yes.
Motion carries. The next item is the approval of conveyance of city-owned municipal housing agency property pursuant to Section 32 Homeownership Program, Board Communication Number 24-384.
Move approval.
Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. The others now have joined us, so please vote unless you have any questions.
7 yes.
Motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, Your Honor.
Is there a second? Second. Roll call, or just a voice?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are now adjourned. That's okay. Moines City Council meeting.
It's on
Oh,
now.
my mic is on. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, take the roll, please.
Boson.
Here.
Simonson. Voss.
Here.
Coleman. Westergaard. Here. Mandelbaum. Here. Gatto.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Next is item 2, approving the agenda as presented and/or as amended. On the consent items, those are items 3 through 41. 4J is withdrawn, 4K is withdrawn, inspections are complete, and the regular agenda items 42 through 56. 56 is updated, the speakers list.
Move item 2, Your Honor.
It's been moved and seconded, please vote.
7 yes.
Motion carries. Next item is number 3, approving consent agenda items 3 through 41. On this, Voss votes no. On number 5, 23 through 26, Coleman would like to speak. Number 9, Mandelbaum would like to speak. Number 17, Mandelbaum would like to speak.
Move approval, Your Honor.
It's been moved and seconded.
Yeah,
I did, I
she
had
said it.
22 through 26, Coleman, sorry. Please vote.
7 yes.
Motion carries. Okay, item 43, on vacation of air and subservice rights within the portions of Tuttle Street, Southwest 13th Street, and Murphy Street right-of-way adjoining 1300 Tuttle Street, and conveyance of a permanent easement for airspace above city-owned property, and a permanent easement for subsurface building encroachment on city-owned property to HRC NFS I LLC for $8,061. A is first consideration of ordinance above, and B is final consideration of ordinance above. Waiver requested by Matt Weller, Vice President, requires 6 votes. We take germane comments from the general public, 2 minutes per person to speak, 10 minutes maximum. Is there anyone wishing to speak? If not,
Seeing none, I'll move item 43, 43A, and 43B.
it's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
7 yes.
Motion carries. Next item is 44, on a vacation of portions of East University Avenue right-of-way adjoining 1427 East University Avenue and conveyance to Des Moines Independent Community School District. A is first consideration of ordinance above. Again, anyone wishing to speak?
I see none. I'll move 44, 44A, and pursuant to Rule 42A, I'll waive the second and third reading.
It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
7 yes.
Motion carries. Items number 45, on vacation of air, subsurface, and surface rights within portions of Des Moines Street and East 6th Street, right-of-way adjoining 603 East 6th Street, and conveyance of a permanent easement for airspace above city-owned property, a permanent easement for subsurface building encroachment, and a permanent easement for surface building encroachment on city-owned property to HOA Aston LLC for $30,324. A is first consideration of ordinance above, and B is the final consideration of ordinance above. Waiver requested by Jenny Drake requires 6 votes. Anyone wishing to speak to this?
Seeing none, I'll move item 45, 45A, and 45B.
It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
7 yes.
Motion carries. Next item is 46, on conveyance of excess city-owned property located in the 4 Mile Creek floodplain to Polk County for the use and benefit of the Polk County Conservation Board for the lower 4 Mile Creek Greenway project. Again, germane comments, 2 minutes per person. Anyone wishing to speak? Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
7 yes.
Motion carries. Item 47, on conveyance of excess city property located at 3 East Porter Avenue to Polk County for $1. Is anyone wishing to speak?
I see none, Your Honor. I will move 47. I'll move 47. Thank you.
It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
7 yes.
Motion carries. 48, on approval of a commercial lease agreement with Panam and Sons LLC, doing business as Blue Thai Food and Sushi, for the use of Suite 309 for restaurant purposes located in the city-owned property at the TM Franklin County City Administration Building at 1200 Locust Street. Anyone wishing to speak to this?
Seeing none, I'll move item 48.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
Seven yes.
Motion carries. On request from Ryan Rivas, owner, to rezone property located in the vicinity of 1760 East Park Avenue from N3A Neighborhood District to P2 Public, Civic, and Institutional District, to allow the property to be assembled with the property to the east that is used for an assembly place of worship use. A is first consideration of ordinance above. B is a final consideration of ordinance above. Waiver requested by the applicant requires 6 votes. First is a party of interest, and the applicant for rezoning and those within 250 feet of the property to be rezoned will be given 5 minutes to speak. Second would be germane comments from the general public, 2 minutes per person, up to 20 minutes. Is there anyone wishing to speak to this?
I see none, Your Honor. I'll move 49, 49A, and 49B.
Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
7 yes.
Motion carries. Number 50, on a request from Riverview DSM LLC, Douglas A. Wells, officer, to amend the Plan DSM, Creating Our Tomorrow Comprehensive Plan, to revise the future land use classification from public, semi-public, to downtown mixed use, and to rezone 110 East Court Avenue from P2 Public, Civic, and Institutional District to DX2 Downtown District, to allow the existing building to be used for a mix of commercial uses. A is first consideration of ordinance above. B is the final consideration of ordinance above. Waiver requested by applicant requires 6 votes. Again, is the applicant or anyone here wishing to speak? Any public wishing to speak? If not,
Hearing none, I can move 50, 50A, and 50B.
Second.
been moved and seconded. Please vote.
6 yes, 1 abstain.
Motion carries. 51, on a city-initiated request to rezone 3 parcels within the southeast industrial urban renewal area located along East Army Post Road, to the west of Southeast 45th Street and to the east of Southeast 36th Street, and bounded by East Army Post Road to the north and East Pine Avenue to the south, to rezone property from A Agricultural District and PUD Harvest Hills PUD Planned Unit Development District to limited I-1 Industrial District. A is first consideration of ordinance above. B is the final consideration of ordinance above. Waiver requested by Donadal Rothfuss and Linda Rothfuss, property owners, and requires 6 votes. Is there anyone here to speak to this? If not, anybody from the public?
I see none, Your Honor. I'll move 51, 51A, 51B.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
7 yes.
Motion carries. Number 52, on a request from Alicia LLC, Mohammed Zarwar, officer, for property located at 3718 Southwest 9th Street, to rezone the property from RX1 mixed-use district to MX3 mixed-use district to allow liquor sales by an existing fuel station use. Choose one alternative below. A is to deny, or B, continue the hearing until October 21st, 2024, and direct the city manager and legal department to prepare the necessary legislation to approve the rezoning. Future approval would require 6 votes due to greater than 20% opposition of relevant property owners. First is the parties of interest, applicant for rezoning, those within 250 feet. You have 5 minutes to speak. Is anyone wishing to speak? State your name and your address or your ward.
My name is Shazi. store manager of Southwest Mart, located at 3718 Southwest, Des Moines. I'm here to proposing the allowance of liquor sales at the gas station. This initiative aimed to enhance consumer convenience, increase local revenue, and ensure responsible alcohol sales within our community. Consumer convenience. Allowing liquor sales at gas station creates a one-stop shop experience for residents and travelers. This convenience is increasingly desired by consumers who prefer to purchase fuel and groceries, including alcoholic beverages, in a single visit. Economic benefits. Introducing liquor sales at the gas station has the potential to significantly boost local revenue. This can be achieved through increasing sales tax revenue for the department. Emphasize the gas station commitment to responsible business practices such as checking IDs, limiting sales during certain hours, and preventing overconsumption. The gas station plans to maintain a safe environment, prevent underage drinking, and handle any potential issue that may arise. At the recent neighborhood meeting, we presented a proposal to add liquor sales at the local gas station, sparking a discussion among residents about the potential impact of this change on our community. And in addition, we are facing rising property taxes that add additional burden in our operations. As cost increasing, it becomes more challenging. I'm here to work. If the staff give me special permit to sell alcohol permit, I can work either way. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there anyone wishing to speak? You can go ahead and sit down, sir, if you want to. I will see if anybody else wants to speak. Okay, thank you. Seeing no one else at this time.
I appreciate what he said. I look at the record below. Planning and zoning recommended denial. There's significant opposition from neighboring property owners. So I am going to move 52A to deny this item.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
Seven yes.
Motion is to deny. Thank you for coming, sir. Number 53. On a request from Hubble Realty Company, Caleb Smith, officer, for review and approval of a second amendment to Gray Station PUD conceptual plan to allow adjustments in building height, density, and uses within certain sub-areas of the PUD regarding property located in the vicinity of 1300 Tuttle Street, and to amend the Plan DSM, creating our tomorrow comprehensive plan to revise the future land use classification for portions of the property from neighborhood mixed use to downtown mixed use. First would be the parties of interest and the applicant and those within 250 feet. Anyone here to speak to this? Anyone from the general public? If not, we'll have it turned over to the council.
Yeah, I'm going to move this item. I wanted to just flag a couple things for the council and just go on record. I'm supportive of this amendment, but this changes some of the density. In some places in Gray Station, it is adding some density, which I think is beneficial, and in other places, it is reducing the density. And I wanted to flag where it is reducing the density because there are, in my understanding, an additional part of the PUD that is maintaining that level of density. And I think it is important, while we're allowing the exception and going from 8 stories or more to 5 stories for condo development, I think the area that is requiring 8 stories, if we want to maximize value going forward, that is an area where that 8-story development or higher really is, it's one of those places that would work really well for that. You would get some really good views of Gray's Lake, and I think even down the Raccoon River, even to the Des Moines River, down the river, if you build height there. And so I really want to encourage on the next phase of this that while we're, as a council, taking this step and working with the developer to get this built, that we maintain the density on the remaining piece that is not part of this. And so wanted to just put that on the record and make sure that everyone was tracking that so that we get high value on the remaining portion. So I will move item 53.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
7 yes.
Motion carries. Item 54 on Birdland Pool filter and equipment improvements, resolution approving plans, specifications, form of contract documents, engineer's estimate, receive and file bids, and designating the lowest responsive responsible bidder as Widener Construction Incorporated, Carol E. Widener, President, $752,938. Council Communication Number 24-404. A is approval of contract and the bond. Anyone wishing to speak to this? If not, I'll entertain.
I'll move item 54 and 54A.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
7 yes.
Motion carries. End of hearings, and that's 5:17. The next item is number 9. Approving items regarding the proposed Southeast Connector project. A is the second amendment to the agreement with the City of Pleasant Hill for the coordination of funding, design, and corridor preservation for the Southeast Connector. Council Communication Number 24-394. B is authorizing the execution of United States Department of Transportation, DOT, grant agreement for the Infrastructure for Rebuilding America Infra Grant for the Southeast Connector project between Southeast 30th and U.S. Highway 65, Council Communication Number 24-395. C is authorizing the execution of Iowa Department of Transportation agreement for the Southeast Connector project between Southeast 30th Street and the U.S. Highway 65, Council Communication Number 24-396. And D is authorizing the execution of the Iowa Department of Transportation agreement for Portland Cement pavement work on the Southeast Connector project between Southeast 30th Street and U.S. Highway 65. Council Communication Number 24-397. And Councilman Mandelbaum, I believe you pulled this.
Yeah, this is a project that I'm supportive of the project moving forward, but this is the first time that we've had an opportunity to see the amendment with the agreement to Pleasant Hill. And that addresses how we pay for the project and the various communities' obligations. And this is a regional transport project. This project is actually in the city of Pleasant Hill. And despite that, the city of Des Moines is shouldering virtually all of the local match obligation here. We're paying, I think it's $13.8 million. And this amendment means that it's negotiating the payment, and it's the city of Des Moines taking on all of the costs to acquire the land, to grade the land, and to construct this project. And I guess I have concern with that. I have concern with that just on principle, that this is a road that is not even in our community. We maybe get more of the benefit, but we are building, if you go by 45% of anticipated cost, $6.2 million of the cost that we are paying is to pay for the local match for the share of the road in Pleasant Hill. And I have concern with us shouldering that cost in Pleasant Hill, not paying their fair share, just in general. But then if you put this in context with what is happening from a regional transportation perspective, when we first started moving forward with this project, Pleasant Hill was contributing to larger regional transportation initiatives. And this is the first time that this is in front of us since Pleasant Hill has changed their posture in regard to regional transportation. They've announced they're pulling out of DART. that will save them about $450,000 a year, more than enough for them to finance bonds to pay for their share of this project. And so I have significant concern about us approving this amendment and taking on all of the cost. Just on principle in and of itself, I'm not sure that it's a fair allocation. But I have even greater concern given that Pleasant Hill has announced that they're pulling out of DART. So I would like to revisit negotiation of this second amendment. And I know that maybe complicates things. I'd be fine moving forward with B, C, and D to keep this moving, but would like to revisit the second amendment and would like Pleasant Hill to pay some portion of it, or to have Pleasant Hill revisit what they're doing in terms of pulling out of DART as part of us agreeing to the conditions as they currently exist. So I would move to, I guess, if it's delay item A so that the manager can go back to the table and negotiate with Pleasant Hill an agreement that is more along the lines of Pleasant Hill paying their fair share or revisiting DART, and then I'd be happy to move forward with B, C, and D.
Appreciate Councilman Mandelbaum's comments. This is a long-time project that we've worked on for well over 10 years now. We finally have all the funding in place to move this forward. I don't believe that DART has any significant correlation with the Southeast Connector and Pleasant Hill to use that as leverage in any way. I think that's, I don't think that's being a very good neighbor. So I'm going to move 9, A, B, C, and D.
There's a motion on the table.
There's a motion, but there's not been a second.
Okay.
Is there a second? That motion dies.
Can we have discussion before a second?
Sure.
We should move, well, we should have, yeah, okay, go ahead.
The managers recommended this. Can you make a statement as to?
Yeah, just for clarity, especially for the public who may not be as familiar with this project, nearly the entire amount of the distance within Pleasant Hill is a large bridge that goes between the connection of the high bypass highway in Pleasant Hill into Des Moines. And there is only one parcel within Pleasant Hill that truly benefits from this bridge being built. And so it is predominance of benefit for Des Moines to get this bridge built as opposed to Pleasant Hill.
I mean, I believe, hasn't Pleasant Hill, I mean, they built a boulevard to connect to the Southeast Connector, right? I mean, they have built new infrastructure to connect to this. I think they get significant benefit as well, right?
In that section, they do. But from where they stopped and where we're picking this up, there's only one parcel within Pleasant Hill that actually benefits from the remaining project.
And we diverted our MPO funds to that project for Pleasant Hill to be able to use that for that project.
Okay. Any other discussion from anyone else? If not, there was a motion on the table, there was no second. I will entertain.
I'll move item 9, A, B, C, and D.
Is there a second? Second. It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
6 yes, 1 no.
Motion carries. The next item is 17. On vacation of portions of 23rd Street, High Street, 24th Street, and North-South Alley right-of-way adjoining 601 24th Street and 602 23rd Street, and conveyance to Rally Cap Properties LLC for $200, dated 10/21/24.
I wanted to pull this. I think other council members know this is Woodland Realm, so some of you may have already received contacts about this. I was hoping to maybe stave off having to do this at the actual hearing. My understanding is there are some concerns about some unique terms that are in this agreement currently. One is a no-build provision, and big piece of the reason this conveyance was necessary is to allow the property owner to be able to build a fence to continue the use as required by zoning board of adjustment previously. I think the no-build provision, the applicant has concern because to dig the fence, the no-build provision says nothing can be below ground, and there's some concern about that issue and the language. And then the second piece was related to the sellback option and concern that the city reserves at their right at any time to require the applicant to sell back the easement for $200. And if they make significant improvements, they could have to remove. There's concern about that in the way that that reads. I hope staff can resolve both of those issues before it comes back to us so that we don't have to continue it and try and get this resolved later. And I don't know what direction I need to provide to try and address that, but wanted to flag it for staff.
If I could, Mayor.
Yes, go ahead.
I'd ask Steve Neighbor to come in as well. So the no build, as I understand it, is allowing the fence to be built. It's the structures that are the issue. So I'll let Steve address that. And we do need to protect the fact that it's quite possible we might need this property back. So we want to be able to recoup the property for the cost that we're receiving. It was the footings that was asked about, Steve.
Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council, Steve Neighbor, City Engineer. So yeah, I would like to confirm the City Manager is correct. The no build does not apply to the fence. You're even digging for posts for the fence. So the applicant can build a fence even with the easement. I would like to point out the purchase price is $200 because we have all these easements. It's not fair market value, and so if the applicant is just simply wishing to comply with planning and zoning, I think this works from a standpoint of it allows them to build the fence. It just doesn't allow them to build, obviously, future developments, townhomes, houses, or whatever.
Sure. And then I guess the specific language, because I think this applicant has had other conveyances and not a similar no build. It was the below ground language. So, and I read it. It says this easement shall not preclude construction of a fence, sidewalk, parking area, patio, and associated improvements, so long as such improvements are both above ground and do not interfere with any utilities. If a fence has to dig footings, that would be below ground. And just by the plain meaning of that agreement, I understand the concern that the applicant has over that.
So maybe we need to modify it to say an associated post footing, you can't build a fence without having footings, but yeah.
Let's just clarify if we can clarify to give him comfort.
Okay.
That's a small.
So can you put that as part of the amendment that we're going to clarify language? Can we do that?
Sure.
Or do we need to?
These are always fun to do, sitting at the tables.
I was
It's
setting the date of hearing. So
Yes, it's a setting date that I think on a vacation, I think we would be okay as long as it's done prior to the hearing, whatever is agreeable between staff. And I'll wait to get a text from one of my deputies telling me that I'm wrong.
So, yeah, because if this is
I would
just
think
setting.
that would be
Right.
okay.
I just wanted-
And as long as I've got the floor just for a second, I want to clarify, I'm sure what Steve meant when he said it wasn't fair market value. It is fair market value accounting for all of the restrictions.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for those legal
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
clarifications. So basically, we will get it worked out.
Yes, and I think there's maybe language, if there's language that can be worked out on the sellback, which has not been the case before. In my understanding, from an easement perspective, I don't see a world where we need this to we're not going to widen High Street. I mean, I don't see a world where we widen High Street.
It's hard to say, I mean, at this point, I mean, what if a development came in and they wanted to put in some type of parking insets, and then the sidewalk has to be moved back? I mean, it's hard to say, you know. So, but you're right, I don't see High Street becoming like more than one lane in each direction. I would agree with that, but.
Right.
Yeah.
And High Street has been wide and.
On the south side,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I don't see needing the street. My understanding is that our concern is about utilities, and the utilities here, it's maybe MetroNet or Google Fiber or someone laying fiber that isn't already there today.
There could be somebody in the future, we have no idea.
From a utility
Yes.
perspective,
Yeah.
like what would other,
How long have we had internet? I mean, we're talking about forever, so.
right, sure, there could be some
Within
other,
some reasonable timeframe.
some other thing that doesn't exist
I
yet
don't
today.
think we're going to have to worry about that timeframe.
Okay, but if staff could, I guess my motion would be just to set this and ask staff to work to address the language. with
Some of the
applicant.
issues that were brought up.
Yes.
Okay,
Did you move it?
he's
Yeah,
moved
I
it.
said-
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
7 yes.
Motion carries. Next items are 22. I get to read.
Oh, sorry.
I get to read
I
them.
didn't think about that.
Number 22 is the 2024 Continuum of Care Grant Recommendations for Competitive Application, including non-competitive award of Youth Homeless Demonstration Program, renewal and replacement grants to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, Council Communication Number 24-389. I'm going to read all these together because we will take a vote together on these.
Perfect.
If that's okay with. Number 23 is substantial amendment to the 2024 annual action plans to include additional emergency solutions grant funding from the Rapid Unsheltered Surviving Housing Program, Council Communication Number 24-388. Number 24 is preliminary commitment of $700,000 in community development block grants, funds for varsity lofts, resulting in 6 total affordable residential rental units. Council Communication Number 24-385. Number 25 is preliminary commitment of $750,000 in home investment partnership funds for the Town Hall, Food Hall, and apartments, resulting in 29 total affordable residential rental units. Council Communication Number 24-386. Number 26 is a First Amendment, an assignment of grant agreement with Alley Landing Limited Partnership and Erie, Ohio Capital CDFI Fund LLC for construction of a new affordable housing project at 2701 Douglas Avenue. Council Communication Number 24-383. Councilman Coleman, you pulled these.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple quick comments. These are all great programs and things that I think are often overlooked in the scope of the things the city does. In these 5 areas, we're investing over $9 million of either grants that we have applied for or manage or funds that help execute this. These are for homeless services to our youth, homeless services to families, and affordable housing. Some of them have been on our agenda before for maybe zoning approval or building approval, but the $700,000 for varsity lofts and the $750,000 for the town hall food hall and apartments are new. The alley landing is some additional funds that we're injecting to make sure that it happens. These happen routinely on our agenda, but almost always on the consent agenda. And I sometimes think that's unfortunate because people don't get a chance to hear the things that we're doing and that we're managing to make good things happen for the most vulnerable in our community. With that, thank you. I'll move 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Please vote.
7
Motion-
yes.
Motion carries. Next item is 42. Amending Chapter 114 of the Municipal Code regarding parking modification, East Broadway Avenue, Hubble Avenue, North Frontage Road between East Broadway Avenue and Hubble Avenue. Choose one alternative below. Council Communication Number 24-390. A is to restrict parking on the south side of East Broadway Avenue, Hubble Avenue, North Frontage Road for the entire length of the roadway, and on the north side at street intersections within the curve. Or B, restrict parking on the south side of East Broadway Avenue, Hubble Avenue, North Frontage Road for the entire length of the roadway, and on the north side at the street intersections within the curve, and along the frontage of the operating engineer's Local 234 located at 4880 Hubble Avenue. So, if you want to make,
I'll make a motion 42B. 42 and 42B.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
7 yes.
Motion carries. Item number 55 is repeal and replace Chapter 60 of the Municipal Code relating to the rental property maintenance and blighted property. Council Communication Number 24-387.
I'll move 55, and pursuant to Rule 42A, if there's no comments or anyone wants to speak, I will waive the second and third reading.
Second. We can talk about it.
Just have
Right, it's been moved and seconded. We can have a discussion now.
Sure.
Who, Councilman
Well,
Cole?
Chris, if you wanted to.
I second it. I'll make,
Okay.
if it's all right, I'll just quickly say that I would like to refer comments to the manager that, to do so publicly, but I've done it privately before. I think as we deal with these businesses that are rental properties, we should show more transparency, and I would like to see us also prioritize making contact information available for all rental properties in neighborhoods, and that inspections are made public through some kind of searchable searchable portal on our website. It should be public information anyway, and I think making it easier for our citizens, that will help. So that is not, I'm not suggesting we add that to Chapter 60 or tonight's action, but I'd like to refer that to you.
Okay.
And Dalton's here for just a few questions.
Okay. If you, do you have some questions for?
Dalton.
Okay.
Yeah.
If he would, where is Dalton?
I'd appreciate the questions being asked.
Yeah,
as
just
he's
ask.
coming forward.
Oh, sure, sure. For property owners or property managers who English is not their first language, could you revise the notices so that higher up in the notice there's a mentioning the translation line? So that was a comment from my appointment to the board, so.
Sure. Mayor and members of the council, my name is Dalton Jacobus. I'm the Neighborhood Inspections Division Administrator. The question relates to the city's language line access policy. And so we have a practice in place where we provide a sheet that has a bunch of different languages on it. You're going to have to pardon me, I'm sorry. With a bunch of different languages in place with a phone number that people can call, no charge to them, and they'll get real-time translation service. So that's included with all enforcement materials that are sent out, applications, notices of violations, so we can get that moved up higher in the packet so there's not a chance that people are missing it.
Great. Second question is, beyond the safety issues that come up with the inspections, is there a way to deal with the other smaller issues, like if it's a doorknob is busted out the drywall, but that hasn't been addressed? Is it
worth going to the effort for a hearing on those smaller issues that are not safety related.
Yeah, if I understand your question correctly, it's do we handle all violations the same? And generally, yes, we handle them the same because we always want compliance. And so if it's a hole in the drywall 6 inches square, or if it's a smoke detector, we want compliance on it. And so we're not out here trying to find people and sue them because they've got a chunk of drywall missing. There is zero leniency given for anything life safety. So means of egress, smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors,
Right.
stuff like that. There's opportunity.
Those are critical.
For sure. Yeah, I don't think anybody debate that. As far as the minimal maintenance stuff, what we're looking for is compliance on the property. I don't think that anybody wants the property to be in poor condition or disrepaired. So I'll just go with the doorknob question. If the property owner is doing a good job managing the property, they've gone through it prior to us showing up for an inspection, and they'd have it addressed before we get there. Again, sticking with that example, you can get those little adhesive door stoppers and just slap it on the drywall. All good. Because it's obviously hitting where the doorknob's hidden. So, but there are ways to, we offer grace whenever possible. We work towards compliance and high quality properties and neighborhoods.
Right.
So, yeah.
So if the issue is not resolved from the Housing Appeals Board, then it goes to our legal department, and then from there, it goes to court. Is that correct? Jeff?
For most of the items.
Yeah.
Yeah, so currently the process is for us to refer a case to the Housing Appeals Board to be heard on what the next steps are. The proposal is that we kind of get away from the middleman and we escalate enforcement with a pretty specific process as laid out in the proposed code. It seems crazy that we would sue somebody because they got a chunk of drywall missing that's this big, but if they don't turn in an application, should we give them a rental license? Because then we don't know how to get a hold of them. So is it more important that they have an application on file, that the drywall's fixed, that there's not holes in the doors? So we do require that they're in compliance with the code prior to issuing the license across the board.
And as I understand it, with these new revised ordinances, that the inspector will actually play a larger role than you bringing them all forward. Is that correct?
Right. So we've empowered our inspectors to really push these property owners to get compliance. So I cannot emphasize this enough. We do not want to be fining people. We do not want to be suing people. As soon as we get it over to Jeff's team and we would push that route, it's kind of out of our hands, and it takes a really long time to get compliance. What we're looking for is compliance. And so we've empowered the inspectors and trained them on following up with property owners to get compliance.
Okay.
100%.
Dalton, if I may, I have just a thought or two, and I thank you for spending time with a few of us on the council to better understand this. My first interaction of being on a board with the city was with the Housing Appeals Board, and I certainly quickly observed that there were many landlords who were gaming the system, who just wanted to buy as much time as they could, and I appreciate sending them to the judge and them telling the judge with the fine why they can't take care of these safety issues. However, having said that, I also observed that there were many property owners that only owned one rental home, property owners who might be in over their head or not understanding how much it takes to maintain a piece of property. The item that Carl raised, I think, is important, and I thank you for empowering your individual inspectors, giving them the ability to write the reports so that you don't have to write them all. That inspector who's there making the observation can write it. But I do hope that you're promoting a culture of patience with those who don't do this for a living. And when I was on the board, and granted this was several years ago, it was not uncommon for an inspector to say that this chip in the paint has to be completed prior to the next inspection. Mm-hmm. I'm not telling you what to do, but the inspector was saying it's not life safety, and yes, we all want to live in a perfect home, but get it done for the next time around. So I just hope that you're promoting a culture of patience with those who are trying to do the best that they can. Thank you.
Councilman Mandel.
Do you have more questions? I I think Councilmember Simonson highlighted kind of the balance here. And I know that at least several of us have heard from at least some folks who have some concern. And I understand what we're trying to do with this. I think there are some bigger landlords who own multiple properties who are gaming the system and not providing a quality product. And this is meant to help speed up enforcement and get to quality rental properties quicker.
Right.
On the other side of the balance is there are some folks who are going to be some of those smaller folks who might only own one property. They might have been an immigrant family, and they bought when they moved up to a bigger house. They kept their starter home as a rental, and a variety of situations like that. And folks who are trying to do the best they can, but don't necessarily know as much, trying to comply.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we have to be mindful of that balance, because changes like that, by the nature of this and by the nature of the job that we ask you to do,
Mm-hmm.
we ask you to enforce and be consistent in the way that you enforce. But there's also some discretion and some mindfulness that we need to have about that piece of balance. And my hope is that that we find that, whether that be in greater technical assistance and identifying the people who need some of that technical assistance, or if there end up being problems with the way that this ends up being enforced, that maybe we need to provide greater nuance in our code. I hope that will come back to us, because this balance piece, it's one of the things that we struggle with, and I get what we're trying to accomplish, and I think the general will of the council is to move forward with that. But I want to be mindful of sometimes there can be unintended consequences, and so I hope we're monitoring for that, and if there are those consequences, we're open to coming back and changing to correct course a little.
Absolutely.
I guess the one thing I would just say is when somebody turns into be a rental, what type of information or what type of training do we give people in the different languages, if it is a language issue or whatever? So whether you have one property or multiple properties, you know kind of what you're expected as a rental owner. And I don't know how much we do in that realm. And they also still can appeal, even under this system, they can still appeal. And is that known by everyone too?
So I'm going to answer your second question first. Along with every piece of enforcement that goes out, whether it's a bill or a notice of violation, there is an appeal form that we attach. And that appeal form says, here's a specific code section that references your rights to appeal. Here's what you need to put in there that says, I disagree with the side of violation, denial of an extension of time, stuff like that. So we are very accommodating. I don't know if there's been an appeal request that we've outright denied. Many of them come in late. They're appealing things that really aren't appealable. If you want to have the appeal, I'm very, very unlikely going to deny it. To your second point, as far as trainings for landlords, so if you'll notice in your council packet, I'm requesting an effective date on this. I think it's January 15th, and that's so that we can summarize the major changes that are coming in this, get them in a memo attached to our rental applications, and get that out to landlords 3 months ahead of when it goes into effect, because we want to make sure we're being very clear and setting clear expectations for both the landlords and staff. Ultimately, I think that what we probably will be moving to is some type of like a landlord academy or something like that. A lot of communities do it. We need to get the code cleaned up first, so this has been 2024. Landlord academy is probably going to be the next thing on the rental side of things.
Mayor, if I may make one final comment. When I joined that board, I just started making motions to send the applicant to the judge with a $5,000 fine. And the number of non-compliant units went down because it was understood that you're going to pay. However, having said that, I think it's fair for the public to also recognize that there are, which you shared with me, there are many property owners who don't have any violations. They're excellent property owners who send teams through their buildings on a regular basis to replace smoke detector batteries, clean things, repair things. So we need to acknowledge that we've got some good people in this city maintaining good housing for people.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So,
Or just need to vote. I
okay.
moved it.
I
Be
was gonna say, I moved
seconded.
in seconds. It's been a while. Please vote.
7 yes.
Motion carries. The next item is our request to speak. And we provide speakers under the public speaking portion the opportunity to address the council for up to 3 minutes each, for up to 20 speakers for a total of 1 hour on the agenda. Speakers will be called forward individually, and we ask everyone to please state their name and address or ward prior to providing comments. Please keep comments germane and avoid references to personalities or character attacks, as those types of comments do not contribute to the purpose for which this public forum exists. As a reminder to the council and the public, this public speaking time is not a time for the council to engage in discussion. Matters requiring attention will receive appropriate staff and/or council follow-up at a time after the meeting. Thank you for support of Des Moines, and the first person is Caleb Van Fossen. Caleb, oh, I don't see Caleb. The next is Heather Armstrong. Can we take the mic over? Yes.
Sorry.
Hello, my name is Heather Armstrong, and I'm, the second ward, and my concern is about how these communities want to exit DART. And there's going to be a problem is that they don't realize how many people take paratransit, especially with Pleasant Hill. There's at least 20 people that use the paratransit, and they either live here in the city, either in the city itself, or else they live in Altoona or even Pleasant Hill itself. Because a lot of times when I'm on the paratransit, we pick up a lot of people at this one doctor's office that's right there in Pleasant Hill. This is going to drive a lot of people nuts, because there's no way that they can get from University and Hubble and then walk all the way out to Pleasant Hill. That's like a couple-mile walk. And you guys, Adam and all of you, there's a board meeting tomorrow at 12 noon. Go be there, because we all count on you, because even I myself go to Pleasant Hill, I go to West Des Moines, I go to Urbandale, I go to Altoona all the time. And if you just do what they do in Chicago, which is they have like suburban service and then they have the city. And I remember like 30 years ago, more so CTA than PACE. CTA didn't accept the suburban transfers because there were two different fares. And then all of a sudden, like, Pace with the same price as the Pace one, if you could go on either CTA or Pace. That's what it sounded like. And if you guys have like a problem with the transit.
Thank you, Heather. Garland, Armstrong?
You want to use that or the mic?
Good evening, Garland Armstrong, representing the Second Ward. I want to echo what Council Mandelbaum says about the homelessness, and I'm also wanted to make sure that the veterans also making sure that they want to be accessible to, and especially for those who are disabled veterans who are living in accessible housing, because they're just one check away from being homeless, and I think you need to check on the veterans too. When was the last time that any of the council been over to ask the individuals who are veterans that they ever was one check away from being homeless? And I think the time is now, because it's not only non-disabled people disabled, but it's also veterans too, and even from others too. So I asked them, when was the last time there was one check away from being homeless or being evicted or having foreclosure? Because I think that's where the problem is, because I saw this on YouTube, how they are one check away from it because of foreclosure, eviction, and not only the criminal, but also credit history too. And also ask them also to ask the property managers too, have they heard about subleasing? Because I saw that too on YouTube, because there are some right over there might be doing subleasing. So you should check into that and see how they're doing subleasing and what is what about it. Because is it true to do it or not? Because I really don't have an answer to it. So I think y'all should check into that. Is it legal to do subleasing of it too or not? So that's all I have to say. If you have any questions or comments concerned about that.
Okay, thank you, Garland. Wayne Ford? Let's see, Wayne. Matthew Farnham? And Tom Rendon?
Good evening, Council. My name is Tom Rendon, and I live in Ward 1 of the City of Des Moines, and I'm a member of Iowa CCI. So I want to begin by thanking you, Scott. Looking for the eye contact. Thank you, Scott, for allowing CCI members to sit in on the police chief finalists interview. Scott, you heard us, and you listened to the Des Moines Register that said that community voice is important in this and in much other issues that come before this council. And I want to acknowledge that 60 community stakeholders who also showed up at the August 15th meeting to tell the city what they wanted from a new police chief. Unfortunately, no other city council members attended. As a member of the racial justice team of Iowa Citizens for Community Improvement, I can tell you that we heard back from our colleagues who participated in the finalist interview, and the clear consensus was that between the two candidates, Commander Joshua Wallace and Major Michael McTaggart, Commander Wallace was the preferred candidate. We had 8 finalists and wound up with 2 potential candidates. Neither, it seems, anybody wanted. We believe there were better candidates among the 8 that were originally selected. But these candidates, if they are truly the only ones that are to be considered, I want to put my preference on District Commander Joshua Wallace. And I say this despite knowing full well all about the public reporting of past complaints against him and his recent bankruptcy declaration. So why? Why would I do that? Well, what we heard was that McTaggart expressed satisfaction with the status quo and had little interest in how the Des Moines Police Department might improve, change, or build stronger relationships with the community. Joshua Wallace, on the other hand, had more enthusiasm and a set of experiences to back it up, that he would be committed to improve relationships with the community, especially with communities of color that had suffered the brunt of past bias policing. He pledged to carry out all of the recommendations from the 2 reports put together by Public Works and 21st Century Policing. So I urge the council to exercise their authority to ensure that we have the leadership at the Des Moines Police Department that represents a progressive step toward and is not interested in complacency or continuing the status quo that has cost this city over $10 million in the past 10 years in lawsuits and penalties due to negligent policing. Thank you.
Laurel Clinton.
Good evening. Laurel Clinton, Des Moines resident, member of CCI Racial Justice Team. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Scott and Connie, for allowing the community to participate in the police chief interview. We did ask for that, and you did make sure that it happened. I'm here to talk about that. I did get to participate last week, and it was interesting at best. In my private life, I'm sorry, I had an allergy and I'm kind of on Benadryl. Ate peanuts and I didn't mean to, so I'm a little having a hard time saying right now. But I'm just going to talk about what I experienced in that interview, just to kind of give you some playback for what I experienced. What I saw were 2 finalists. We don't know how you came to that decision, but that's what you gave us to choose from. I was able to look at their resumes. I actually hired people in my past life, so I know what it's like being in the interview process. I'm no expert, but I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody to answer my questions or give me an idea of why they didn't answer the question. So I'm looking for answers. What I want you as a council to remember is that this community is still healing from the wounds of our past. That's our 2020 protests, some high-profile racial profiling incidents. We had 4 police officers, female officers, who were sexually harassed under your leadership. We didn't get any public apology or accountability from any of you. And we're allowing the same person whose leadership we were under at the time lead us into the future with the new police chief. So that, Scott, I don't envy you. I don't want to be in your shoes. It's a big decision. Just what I'm going to encourage everybody on TV and in this chamber right now is to go look at these 2 people's resume. Don't take what my takeaway is. Go look at your own. Do your own research. You guys were looking for specific things out of the national search advertisement, and due to attention to detail, one person hit that mark almost every time. So in our recovery, we're hoping to re-engage community, look forward to what 21st century policing can be and looks like. One of the candidates actually had a plan for that. One of those other candidates did not even have a concept as far as I was concerned. You guys are going to lead us into the 21st century.
Adam Callanan.
Hello, my name is Adam Callanan. I live in Ward 3, and I'm here with Des Moines People's Town Hall. Newly obtained emails reveal that the Des Moines city officials and local leaders have been in discussions to criminalize homelessness in Des Moines prior to the Supreme Court ruling. Its grants past decision on June 28, 2024. A records request we made shows that 2 key staff members, City Manager Scott Sanders and City Homeless Policy Administrator Amber Lewis, were in discussions about a hardline approach to homelessness with a small group of corporate CEOs and nonprofit leaders since at least September 2023. A minority of council members, Bozen, Coleman, and Gatto were part of a discussion with city staff on June 24th to draft a response to the Supreme Court's decision days before it was issued. Based on the emails we received, it appears that the other council members were excluded from the discussions, most notably Mandelbaum and Simonson, who ultimately opposed the ordinance. Voss and Westergaard were also not included in those email communications that we got. We have a press release out with the details. If you want to see those details, they're on our Twitter at People's Town Hall. I'll summarize some of the key findings that I can get to in my time. The city lied to the public about the source of where the push for this ordinance came from. To my knowledge, the city has had closed-door talks with CEOs about this ordinance before it was passed, but there were no similar talks with residents or homeless people or just other interest groups that should have been consulted. Coleman went back on many of his own plans. Emails show initially he insisted for some key changes in place before the ordinance's passage, mainly storage of items and holding of pets. That didn't happen, and he still voted for it. While stakeholders insisted that the city work with the region on a long-term solution, Coleman failed to work with the Homeless Coordinating Council he chairs, and Bozen repeatedly slandered regional neighbors, falsely claiming they were sending their homeless to Des Moines. Coleman and the city also refused to take advice from the city's new homeless policy administrator. Not sure we hired one if we don't listen to her. And the small group meetings included the Greater Des Moines Partnership, Iran Transportation, Mid-American Energy, United Way, and the Des Moines Community Foundation. Coleman also lied to the public, insisting he wasn't a driver for the ordinance, when emails show he was one of the key players and agreed to be the spokesperson about the ordinance. Bozen lied to the public when she pretended to direct the city manager to research pallet shelters at a September council meeting, when in fact that research had been going on since at least April 2024. Additionally, the city keeps bragging about their current affordable housing work. These are good programs, but it's ridiculous to brag about them when they're clearly not enough. It's like a student who had a 10-page paper due, bragging to their parents that they got 5 pages done, so that counts for something. You aren't doing what we need, and everybody here knows that. The council can also request items be removed from the consent agenda. It was bizarre at this meeting that Coleman complained about items being on the consent agenda when he has the power to remove those. I don't really understand what that was about, but thank you.
Monica, is Monica here? I think she had sent in. Abby Banks.
Abby Banks, Ward 3, she, her. You may want to continue business as usual, but business as usual in Des Moines absolutely cannot include the criminalization of unhoused people. We will never forget the lives of our unhoused neighbors that have already been lost because of this council's lack of action regarding affordable housing. We will never forget the way that you all have been planning these ordinances preemptively in hopes that the grants past Supreme Court decision would go the way that it did, that you would get the green light to dehumanize and criminalize our neighbors. We will never forget the way that you've been in conversations with executives from Greater Des Moines Partnership, Mid-American Energy, Ruin Transportation, United Way, and the Des Moines Community Foundation about these ordinances since September of 2023. We will never forget the half-assed proposals and suggestions you've made regarding possible solutions, pallet homes and directives to the city manager that he's under no legal obligation to carry out, nor is there funding allocated for it, is not enough. Does this not seem like things that should have been figured out before the meeting in which you passed these ordinances? People very well could be cited and arrested as we speak right now for the crime of being unhoused, and yet the storage of property, pets, and other directives that you gave to Scott remain completely unaddressed. Proposals, directives, and ideas mean nothing when they don't aim to achieve the actual solution to people living outside, which is housing. Tonight, you'll return to your homes, to your families, to your beds. At your ice cream socials and your fall festivals, your wealthy donor friends will commend you for a job well done. But your disgusting actions will haunt you for the rest of your lives. When given a position of power in which you could actually do good, you chose to do the opposite. May you never know peace.
Jillian Prescott. Jason Koppel.
I'm Jason Koppel, business manager of the Operating Engineers Local 234 at 4880 Hubble, which is Ward 2, I believe. I was here to speak on item 42, but I was told I couldn't speak, so I felt it was rude not to show up. But thank you. Appreciate it. That's all I got.
Thank you for staying. Carol Maher.
The visual aids, of course.
Oh. I need a lifted Put
You
it
might
up on
have
your,
to put it on top of that.
yeah, lift it up a
Okay.
little bit.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, don't start my time yet. Hold on one second.
Okay,
Mic
ready to
drop.
go.
Okay. Hi, my name is Carol Maher. I live downtown in Ward 3. Lately, I've been wondering about the former Kaleidoscope building at 5th and Walnut. I did some research, and here's a refresher. September 2020, the St. Joseph Group purchased the property for $1.9 million, along with the existing plans to build a 33-story apartment building. April 2023, an extra layer of protection ensures all the financing is placed before demolition can begin. Mr. Teeling said that 85% of the bonds to finance the project were good to go. In July 2023, 4 months later, in spite of these protections, demolition started on the building. Mr. Teeling indicated that construction could begin in the fall of 2023 and the building would open in 2025. Whoops. So for over a year, this parcel has jersey barriers and chain link fence all around. On Walnut Street, there is a large concrete footing that was placed right in the middle of the right-of-way to support a sawed-off skywalk. Here, you can see everything. You can see the jersey barriers, the chain link fence, the concrete footing, the skywalk support, and one of the sawed-off skywalks. The parcel was, oh, I'm getting real bad at this. Hold on. Oh no, my time, I'm about to go over. The parcel was filled with sand, giving it a sort of moonscape feel with little vegetation, while becoming a respite for traffic cones and type 3 barricades. I get it, financing is tough, and we wanted that building down, so we issued a demo permit thinking it would be a lesser eyesore, but is it really? Thousands of people walk by this site every Saturday to and fro the farmers market, our premier summer-long downtown event. Residents with yards are required to keep their grass 8 inches or less, and we have hired extra inspectors to make sure all the moms and pops were in compliance, deeming no mow May a nuisance. Is there no enforcement mechanism to require a property in our downtown core to be in a better state? We should be putting our best foot forward to encourage development activity downtown. Is this really it? Please, I ask you to require the owner to be a good downtown neighbor to me and other residents. Maintain this property, get rid of the barriers and sand, fill the space with native and prairie plantings, return it to its natural state, or build that damn big, beautiful building. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I'll move 56A through P to receive and file their comments.
Second.
Please vote. Motion
7
carries.
yes.
Motion carries. At this point,
Motion to adjourn, Your Honor.
is there a second? Is there a second? All in favor, voice vote? Aye.
Aye.
This meeting is
I threw
adjourned.
it away. Excellent. I just kept the end.